Hyperium, consisting of Nozo, Roseo, and Lorcas, return from Reverend to meet up with the carriages escorting the Waterdeep royalty. They meet with Lord Alexander Splendor, Lady Aria Splendor, and Draco Splendor. Altogether, they make their way to Chatteau de Huy, a chateau that holds the large meeting between all nations every 4 years. They all change into appropriate attire and join into the ballroom. After the gathering of everyone into the large and opened conference hall, Hyperium notices Queen Anna Montavret in attendance, and Roseo struggles to contain his emotions. The meeting starts unkindly as some were quick to mention the disappearance of King Dex Magicin, husband of Queen Anna Magicin. Some find it odd of her to use her maiden last name. The conversation becomes heated quickly. Moments before Hyperium acts, Lord Splendor speaks with haste and urgency about the threat of Crocus, the Dark Lord, who had just raided his castle. Some kings stood in disbelief. Some began to fear the rise of a new Vecna, and unrest surrounded the room. Just then, a wild cackle was heard, where one of the kings had been sitting. A dark hooded figure sat, emanating a dark and evil aura. The room filled with a sudden cold as the hood was taken off and an old, hairless face was revealed. A wicked smile spread across the face of Crocus, the Dark Lord. Hyperium was quick to leap into action, however not fast enough as more evildoers poured from the darkness. Kings and queens were slashed and turned into dark creatures, controlled by Crocus. Chaos ensued. Draco went to shield Lord Splendor, while Lorcas went to his mother. Roseo instinctively flew towards Queen Anna, and Nozo lunged towards the darkness. Slicing down one after another, Nozo closed ranks with Crocus until his blade was stopped. Tomo. The words were uttered subconsciously as Nozo stared at the one-eyed mask of his best friend. In the heat of the moment, Roseo hurried to use his mech Wish Ember, but as he had not mastered it yet, the gears lost their way in his hands. He used minor cantrips and forced his way through the bodies to Queen Anna.
Everybody out of the way!
All he could see was waves of flora, pushing and pulling enemies left and right. The area surrounding her shone like a meadow and called forth a light to the darkness, a hope to the despair. Eventually, Roseo formed the very thing that killed her husband and began blasting creatures in his way. The hot air mixed with the black, steaming blood of the black hooded goons was nauseating. He made it to her and they fought together. After Lord and Lady Splendor were safe, Lorcas and Draco joined the fight, swords in hands, and cut down one after another. Brothers, not by blood, but by the blood of their enemies. As the room clears out, all that stands in the way of evil are the heroes. Nozo, Lorcas, Draco, Roseo, Queen Anna Montavret, and King Arukuro. They face off against black-hooded figures, Tomo, and the Dark Lord Crocus himself.
That ember works nicely. A shame I have to rip it from such a pretty soul!
He shouts, and the battle resumes. The ballroom of Chatteau de Huy was no longer a hall of peace and diplomacy. It had become a battlefield of gods. Spell tore through the marble and shadow as the Dark Lord Crocus, wreathed in both light and shadow, unleashed devastation upon all. Crocus raised his hands, one burning gold, the other black as pitch. The twin embers pulsed in sync, light and shadow, two sides of one cursed soul.
Disintegrate, and let your light fade!
Walls dissolved, magic collided, Hyperium pressed forward through the chaos. Nozo met his friend, no, his brother, Tomo, across the shattered floor. Two blades crossed, one driven by guilt, the other by pain. Still chasing ghosts, Nozo? I'm not here for ghosts. I'm here for you. Their duel was like the meeting of storm and sea, neither yielding, neither whole. And when at last Nozo's blade found its mark, it stopped, short of death. I won't lose you again, Tomo. Not to him. In that moment, something within Tomo broke. The darkness in his eye wavered, and he turned, his blade now aimed at Crocus. Elsewhere, Lorcas, Draco, Roseo, and Queen Anna fought their own war. Black hooded figures fell one after another. Lorcas danced with his rapier, every strike a flourish of precision, Draco's sword and spells crushing his foes in his wake. Roseo's mechanical gun, forged from the gears of the mech Wish Ember, fired arcs of searing energy. Beside him, Queen Anna raised her flower ember high. Roots burst through the marble, wrapping foes in thorn and bloom. Then, through the storm of magic, King Aro Kuro raised his voice. "If you can hold him, I can bind him, but I need time!" And so the heroes did. They gave him time. Crocus, wounded but defiant, lifted both embers. The world split in two. A sea of stars opened beneath their feet. The astral sea, drawn into being by the merging of light and shadow.
You cannot destroy balance. You can only delay it!
His voice became thunder. Beams of annihilation streaked across the void. "Roseo, look out!" Nozo leapt forward, shielding Roseo from a blast that would have ended him. His body crashed to the marble, broken and unmoving.
Nozo! Nozo, stay with me!
Crocus raised his ember for the final strike. But Queen Anna stood before him, summoning all her will. A colossal flower of light unfolded around the heroes. The petals caught every spell, every scream, every drop of darkness, and held it back.
Do it now, Haru!
King Aru Kuro dragged his fingers up his forearm, blood streaking the runes inscribed there. His voice rose, ancient and divine.
Vitae numen tenebrisit vicula!
The air cracked. Crocus howled as his body melted into liquid light and shadow. The ballroom split, half blinding radiance, half devouring void. When it cleared, two shapes remained. One, white as a fallen star. The other, dark as the abyss. King Aru reached forward, sealing the black husk within his necklace. As the light form of Crocus collapsed, lifeless beside him. The battle was over. Hyperium stood amidst ruin and quiet. Nozo was healed. Roseo and Queen Anna shared a long, silent look. One that spoke of forgiveness, of grief, of something lost long ago. The ceiling split him in two, light and shadow. The shadow sleeps within my amulet, but the light will rise again in 10 days' time. 10 days, that was all they had. That night, in secrecy, Nozo met Tomo beneath the stars. The kings and queens wanted the traitor executed, but friendship had its own laws. "She's out there, Nozo. Asaki. I saw her once, among Crocus's cult. Then she was gone. Then find her, and when you do, send word, brother." The two clasped hands, brothers reborn from blood and shadow. Tomo vanished into the night, leaving only the sound of waves behind him. With their time dwindling, Hyperium sought out the elusive wizard, Count Vandro, and begged his aid. Deep beneath Waterdeep, in the drowned halls of the Asha, Vandro sealed Light Crocus in an ancient prison, binding his rebirth. When dawn rose over Chateau d'Oui, the heroes stood as legends. Queen Anna Montavret, King Arukuro, Draco Splendor, and Hyperium, the saviors of nations. And so, they began anew. Their next home, the old ring of Waterdeep. Their next journey, unknown. But every light casts a shadow, and somewhere, the darkness still awaits.